Tommy, do we regret buying a Ford F-150 after 3,000 miles and 2 months of ownership?
Well, we're going over the good, the bad, and the ugly of new F-150 ownership. This video is sponsored by Grainger Warranty, but more on that later.
Let's start with the good. Here are the top 5 things, starting at number 5, that we love about this Ford F-150. Tommy, at number 5 is one letter and one number, and it's right here, V8. That is why I love this Ford F-150, and it has to do with this 5-liter Coyote.
So we're looking at 400 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque out of this naturally aspirated engine. But here's the question. For the same amount of money, we could have purchased this truck with the EcoBoost twin-turbo V6, which makes the same horsepower, but 90 pound-feet more torque at 500. So why'd you go for the V8?
Well, Tommy, I went for the V8 because of the sound it makes. Let me show you. Here's the thing. Sometimes you buy trucks with your head, and sometimes you buy them with your heart. And pickup trucks and V8s go together like peanut butter and jelly. Let me show you. Start it up, Tommy. Oh my gosh, I love that V8 growl, and this Tremor was certainly bought with my heart more than with my head.
So what's it like to drive this V8?
There's only one way to find out, and that's to fire it up and take it for a drive.
That's right. Now look, this engine is so special, and I'm so glad that Ford still offers this in the F-Series trucks, right? Because it provides such a linear power band, and you get a nice growl out the back that you just simply don't get with the EcoBoosts.
Yeah, my only question is, we had a Mustang GT, and that got 490 horsepower, and this only does 400. Where did those extra 90 horses go?
Well, I think certainly some of it could be down to driveline losses, and I think certainly some of it could be down to tuning, right? This is a truck that's designed to tow heavy and off-road, where that Mustang was designed to go really, really fast in a drag strip and have fun out in the curve. So it's kind of a different application. But nevertheless, this is a great engine with one minor complaint, Dan.
Hold on, I would say that the reason it's down horsepower is reliability. I think that they want a longer engine life in this particular use case, because like you said, it's towing, it's hauling, it's just having a much harder life.
That could be that.
Yeah. What's the thing?
The engine note. So it's got a good little growl, but it's too quiet. When you're driving along inside, you can barely hear it. You can hear it out back, but not when driving around inside.
Yeah, it's like a sewing machine. It's very linear, but the growl is certainly not something that you hear inside. And that may be because they don't augment it, Tommy.
Yeah, for sure, like they do in the EcoBoost. And speaking of engine growl, if you want to see how this V8 compares to other V8s in its class, we did a really cool drag race. Let's cut to that right now.
Oh, good start for both of us. And I'm pulling a little ahead. This truck is much lighter.
Oh yeah, I have that 430 rear end. But I think my heavy truck is not doing so well. Oh, a little bit of spin. I took off really good. Come on, GM. Okay, a little bit of, all right, there it goes. It spun tires in several gears. I'm in 6 now, and I'm flying. I'm on a flyer. Wait, where's the Tremor?
And if you are looking for a Ford F-150, you gotta consider getting a Grainger warranty when you purchase this truck, because it extends that warranty beyond what the factory can do, and we've used it in the past. It saved us a lot of money.
And best of all, Grainger uses factory technicians, so they use Ford authorized dealers. And you know, most warranties expire too soon, in my opinion. And with the Grainger, you can get peace of mind for the life of your truck, depending on how long you keep the truck.
The number 4 like is right here, the Tremor package. This is a really great middle ground for off-road enthusiasts. You see, it's not quite as extreme as a Raptor, but it's a lot more useful than an FX4. So let's talk about what that gets you. Now we have 18-inch wheels with these Grabber by General ATX tires, and we have off-road tuned suspension. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but specifically these tires mean that you can take this truck right out of the box and go hit a mild trail. It also has a standard locking differentials. Coming down the side here, these side steps are really well engineered. They're not really rocket protection, but they're nice and tall off the ground. They look much like the Raptor side step, and it helps you get in and out without detracting from ground clearance. Now, on the front end, you can get this truck with a modular front bumper and a Torsen limited slip front differential, but we don't have any of that because we don't have the expensive Tremor, which I'll talk about that in a second, but we do have underbody protection and recovery points in the front. And this truck actually is pretty impressive off-road. We even had this thing out in Moab. Let's cut to that footage now.
And we have, in our rock crawl mode, locked up the rear, so we do have a rear locker.
Yeah, the truck did it by itself.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It's really good that Ford does all that. We're at 21 degrees.
Yeah, which is pretty steep. And call out your degrees, I'm curious.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25,
27,
28, almost 30 degrees of straight down.
Yeah. And this truck didn't skip a beat.
And we didn't hit the front or the rear, so approach and departure is actually really good.
Our number 3 like is the ride quality on this truck. Now, I think a lot of Europeans would have a heart attack if they got behind the wheel of this because it's incredibly soft and floaty.
Yeah, long wheelbase, off-road tires with a lot of rubber and off-road suspension makes it perfect for road trips.
And I would actually argue on the street, I think this thing rides just as good, if not better, than the Raptor, because the Raptor these days is a little firm. This thing still has a nice little float to it. There's only one F-150 that rides better than this. You know what that is?
The Raptor R?
The Lightning.
Oh, that's true. The Lightning is much better. This does compete directly, Tommy, with the Ram Rebel and, of course, the Chevy Trail Boss.
That's right. So 2 other off-road spec trucks, which aren't like the crazy top dogs. And in my opinion, especially with this V8, this truck as a package is better than both of those.
Well, you can't get a V8 in the Ram, Tommy.
Well, you say that. You will be able to here very shortly.
And you can get 2 V8s in the Chevy.
That's right, you've got the 5.3 and the 6.2. So you got options in the Chevy, but I think as a package, the Ford looks the best. It's got a great, quality of ride, and it's got some other nice things we'll talk about in a sec.
Yeah, and I'm sure all of the Ford fans would say it doesn't have cylinder deactivation, which the Chevy people love, and that's a sarcastic love. Number 2. Standard sports cloth seats. And in my mind, sports cloth are better than all cloth or all leather because this combination just looks very purposeful and very utilitarian. Plus, I have to say they're some of the most comfortable seats of any truck you can get. Ford really nailed it. Then you have this giant 12-inch screen with Apple CarPlay, but real buttons for your HVAC, no haptic stuff. Finally, heated seats, standard, and 8-speaker B&O audio, which actually sounds really good. So that's a lot to like for a relatively modest price, and we'll get to that later as well.
And the number 1 thing we like about this truck is, and I can't believe I'm saying this because it's still expensive, but the value, especially compared to the F-150 Raptor.
Yeah, Tommy, trucks have gotten so much more expensive in the last 5 years and maybe even in the last 10 years. And once upon a time, a truck was the bargain basement transportation that you could buy that had all the bells and whistles, including, in this case, 4-wheel drive. But that has changed.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at these off-road trims, they've gotten really expensive, and an F-150 Raptor officially starts at $79,000, but you're really not going to touch one for under maybe $84,000, $85,000 new. This truck has a sticker of $68,000, but with employee pricing, we picked it up for $63,000. So we're looking at realistically $15,000 to $20,000 less than the Raptor. And for a typical everyday hunter, fisherman, light off-roader, this is going to do everything a Raptor can do as long as you're not planning to go to Baja.
Yeah, what I hear you saying is that this Tremor is kind of the sweet spot in Ford off-road trucks, right? The FX4 is just a little too small in Goldilocks terms, and the Raptor is just a little too big, and this is just right.
Yeah, I think it is. It's just right. For most people, it gives you the tires and the lift and the recovery points you need. It doesn't give you the crazy suspension that the Raptor has, but you really don't need that on a regular basis. And you get the added towing capacity that the Raptor doesn't have. Now I'm going to give you all a bonus because a lot of trucks have onboard power. However, it's usually 400, maybe 800, maybe 1,000 watts. But even the V8 F-150 can be had with 2 kilowatts of onboard power. And what that means is you can power real things like shop vacs or even some light tools using the power available in the bed. Now, of course, if you want more power, you can get the hybrid F-150, get up to 7 kilowatts, but even having 2 to back here is incredibly useful.
Tommy, now it's not all lollipops, unicorns, and F-150 love, is it?
Now here are 5 things we hate about our new F-150.
Tommy, the number 5 dislike is strangely right here by my knee, and it's this button or the lack thereof.
Yeah, so even at, sticker of $68,000, it doesn't have a 4-wheel drive auto setting, which you can get in the Tremor, but they make you get the Tremor High package, which is $11,710, and that's how you get that front Torsen limited slip diff. So they really force you to get the expensive luxury version if you want 4-wheel drive auto.
And for a lot of people that may not matter, because let's say you live in some place where it doesn't get a lot of snow, like here in Colorado, so if you go off-road, you just put it in 4 high, and if you want to do some rock crawling, 4 low. But in Colorado, we have this typical weather condition where you'll go from snow to wet to dry, and when you don't have 4 auto, that means that the truck will crab and will be hard to turn and will feel weird if you have it in 4 high without having that 4 auto setting.
Yeah, it's much nicer just to leave it in 4 auto, let the truck decide, especially in the winter months where you go slushy dry constantly, having to switch it. It's not a pain in the butt, but it is another step that you wouldn't have to do in 4 auto.
It is my biggest disappointment in this particular truck.
Number 4 is the power tailgate spec on our particular F-150. Now, the opening is great. You push the button and it glides down, no more slamming, but the closing should be power assisted as well, and it is some of the time, and some of the time it isn't. So what you're supposed to do is lift it up, and then the truck finishes it. But sometimes it just doesn't do it, and then you end up kind of fighting it, and it's weird. And then, oh, there it goes, it did it.
I have to disagree, because look, here's the thing, right? You can just hit the button, actually right there, watch. And then if you want to close it, there's a magic way of doing it without fighting it, and that is just reach under here.
Oh yeah, really easy.
And hit the button again.
And then I aged 25 years. The problem too is you've got
so simple.
You've got stuff in your hand, right?
Right.
That you've just picked up,
and use
right?
a fob.
Yeah, so then I got my stuff in my hand, I'm reaching for the fob.
Oh, for God's sake.
This is not convenient. A normal tailgate is just a better solution. Why didn't it do it there?
I don't know. I would just hit the button and it's doing it. There we go. Just hang out with your stuff and you'll be fine.
No, that sucks.
I like to drink a lot of Lipton iced tea, and I kind of feel like Ford borrowed this Pro Trailer backup assist knob along with the drive mode knob from the top of my iced tea bottle. I mean, everything in here works, and they're real buttons, but there's a lot of plastic. I mean, just a lot of plastic. And you know, for a truck that costs over $60,000, and we'll get to that, I promise, it's a little, I was gonna say tinny, but that might be a step up from the plastic.
So the number 2 dislike with this F-150 is kind of funny because it's related to one of our biggest likes about this truck, and that's actually the V8. And the reality of the V8, living at a mile above sea level here in Colorado, is it doesn't perform nearly as well as the EcoBoost.
Yeah, it is a problem, Tommy. I mean, with EcoBoost, you get either Eco or Boost.
Sure.
We are getting 16.5 mpg, which isn't great, but Ford kind of sold the EcoBoost being very economical, but yet in my experience, this truck is as economical as an EcoBoost. So why not get that V8 roar, even though you're going to get the V8 fuel economy?
Because you're missing my point here. At a mile above sea level, that EcoBoost will absolutely trounce this V8 in acceleration, and more importantly, it'll trounce it in towing going up the Ike Gauntlet. Not a big deal if you live at sea level, but up here, this truck is quick, but it's not that quick compared to the twin turbos, and you found that out towing on the Ike Gauntlet. Let's cut to that video now.
Now it's putting the pedal
Because
down.
we're almost level, that's why.
Okay, we're approaching the end.
Yeah.
How are we doing?
We're doing good. If you could floor it, we'd do better.
Well, it is kind of floored.
Okay. Well, kind of.
It's floored right now, I can tell.
What's the RPM now?
It's about 5,000.
Okay.
And are you ready to stop the timer?
I'm ready.
Now.
8.02.
My number one dislike, and this is just so dumb when you're buying a $60,000+ truck, is actually down here. This truck didn't come with wheel liners. We had to go to Line-X after the fact and spec wheel liners. And Ford makes you pay them for the wheel liners, which is insane for a nearly $70,000 MSRP on this truck. Same thing with the bed liner. This truck didn't come standard with a bed liner, which is pretty standard, but it shouldn't be. We had to spend pretty much $1,100 between the wheel liner and the bed liner, and that is just inexcusable for a 60+ K truck.
Tommy, the MSRP on this truck was just over $68,000, but because of Ford employee pricing, because of the tariffs, we got it for around $63,000, so we saved $5,000.
Yeah, so pretty decent. Now listen, 10 years ago we bought a Raptor for $55,000, so certainly inflation has hit some F-150 pricing, but I gotta say, as a whole, even though we didn't get that more powerful EcoBoost, I really like this engine and I really like this truck.
You know what I love the most about it?
What's that?
This space white color, because it looks white, but when you're up close, it's actually got a little bit of a blue tint to it. So I really am a sucker for color, and this color is fabulous.
So folks, let us know what you guys think in the comments section below. Did we do well with our F-150? Do you like the V8? Do you prefer an EcoBoost? And as always, it's been Tommy.
And Roman saying thanks for watching. And Tommy, I have a prediction.
What's that?
Every comment's going to be 63,000. Oh my God, you guys are crazy. And my comment to that would be wait 2 years and that will look like a bargain.
Yeah, that's how it goes. We'll see you next time.
Ciao. Tommy, we've owned the Ram Rebel, we've owned the Silverado Trail Bus, and now, of course, we have this, the Tremor. And there's one lesson that I've taken away from owning these three trucks, and that is you're better off to buy the off-road bits from the factory than you are to do it yourself. If you remember, we upgraded the Rebel with kind of first-gen Falcons, and it made for a pretty rough ride.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, you know, the Ford is a nice complete package. I think that they go just far enough from an off-road standpoint to make it interesting and make it look cooler, but they don't go too far with the Tremor. As a ride quality standpoint, this is better than a stock Ram and a stock Chevy. I think that those trucks offer some things that are better than the Ford. Like some of maybe the interior on the Ram is better than the Ford, and I think that the design on the Chevy is actually the best, and I do like some of the value that you can get with that 5.3 V8 out of the Chevy.
Oh,
so
listen to that.
all of the trucks kind of offer the good and bad points, but which one is your favorite of the three?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, it's love the one you're with.
Okay, fair enough.
So it would be the Ford. How
Yeah.
about you?
I don't know. I really do like that new Ram interior, and I'm excited that they're bringing the V8 back in with the 5.7 in that 1500. So I think probably the Rebel is going to be at my top.